What's up, everybody? I'm Flying Scorpion, and I've got 10 minutes to talk with you about piracy in Elite Dangerous. This is the whatevereth take. I don't have a script. I probably should write a script at this point because I keep recording and then I go back and I go, that video sucked, and then I do it again. But hopefully this is the one we actually get put up there. All right, so piracy in Elite Dangerous has been a lot of fun for me. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it as the best way to make money because, in my experience, it's pretty evident that it is not the best way to make money in the game. The best way to make money in the game in terms of time efficiency, in my experience, is stacking massacre bounty hunting missions with other players. You can make like 500 million an hour, a billion per hour doing that. I think it's a bit overpowered, and I know that there'd be a lot of people that would go, oh, but if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I really don't mind saying things that are unpopular from time to time and pointing out stuff that's overpowered, like viral in Warframe and heat damage in Warframe, right? That got a lot of hate. So anyway, let's get back to Elite Dangerous here. So I'll talk to you about my builds, because that might be what people are most interested in, even if you're already playing Elite Dangerous. So this is the build that I'm using. I'm using an Anaconda with 6 Fletchet launchers, a fragment cannon, and a regular cannon. Whoa, Fletchet launchers, Flying Scorpion? Really? Yes, really. These guns are really fun. They're high skill, high reward. You can blow up the enemy's thrusters even if they're facing you the entire time with Fletchet launchers. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Elite Dangerous or what this weapon is, it's like a cannon that shoots. It's sort of like a grenade launcher. It's like a shrapnel grenade launcher. And when you hold down the trigger, the projectile travels through space, and when you let go of the trigger, it detonates them. I have 6 of them on this thing, so it's like 6 grenade launchers all at once, and then when I let go, it's like fireworks go off. They don't look like fireworks. It's not like colorful like Rainbow Land in Diablo 3, for example, but it gets the job done. You get the point. And I think it's pretty evident now what the advantages of this weapon. First of all, like I said, being able to shoot and use your skill as you develop your skill with this weapon to shoot ahead of your target to where they're going and then detonate it directly on their ass to blow out their thrusters is very effective for piracy, because the goal isn't to blow the ship up. You don't actually want to kill them. You're trying to disable them so that you can start collecting the loot out of them. So this weapon is great for that. I think most other people would recommend using missile launchers with a combination of this drag munitions effect that slows the enemy ship down and a frame shift drive interrupt effect that stops the enemy from jumping out into super cruise. But that's more for the advanced players. I have 2 other weapons on this. Oh, did I mention that remote release Fletchet launchers bypass shields 100%? I don't think I did. Yeah, that's another big advantage. If your target has like 1,000,000 shield hit points, doesn't matter. It goes right through shields and affects the hull right off the bat. Okay, so I have this little fragment cannon. It's basically a shotgun, and it's modified with this effect called drag munitions. And what drag munitions does is, as long as a single pellet hits the enemy ship, it will slow them down significantly, and that just makes fighting them and looting them a lot easier. I think it also helps so that when you do disable their thrusters, they're starting off at a slow speed. And the way that it works in Elite Dangerous, this is for the newer players here, is when you disable an enemy's thrusters, they don't just stop moving. They continue rotating in whatever direction it was that they were rotating in, and they continue traveling in whatever direction they were traveling in, and they maintain their speed and they maintain their velocity or whatnot. So you can either start pirating them like that, and your collector limpets can catch up with you. They can move 200 meters per second, or you can fly past them and then stop them, whether you park your ship in front of them and have them slam into you, or you use something like this cannon that I have down here, and you shoot at them, and this cannon has this ability called force shell. It's an engineered effect, and it will plink at them and slow them down until they come to a stop. If you shoot them too many times, they'll start moving away from you, or they'll start spinning out of control if you aim at a bad spot on them and things like that. So as you can see, there's some skill involved with using this stuff, but I think I'm painting the picture here of how you go about doing your piracy. What ends up happening for me is I pirate ships anywhere. I don't care if there's security there. I will pirate them in any system. So far, I haven't tried high security, though. I think high security might be too difficult, but I don't mind when the police show up. When the police show up, I launch this fighter hangar, or this fighter ship. So I have an NPC crew member that I hired when she was completely harmless, and trained her up to the point where she is now an elite pilot, and she uses this tanky little fighter. And when the cops show up, I send her out there, and she just keeps them busy, and keeps them busy for a long time. Like, multiple waves of police will show up and stack up on top of her before they blow her up. The problem with my current build is that when she gets blown up, there's a countdown timer for this fighter hangar to build another fighter. And what happens is that the police start shooting at me, and because my shields are so weak, they get my shields down and start doing pretty significant damage to the hull of my ship before the fighter is ready to be launched again. So I'm planning on making some changes to the build to have a bigger shield on it, and then hopefully that'll buy me enough time for a new fighter to get rebuilt and then launch that, and that might allow me to continue getting loot out of the ships until I've gotten them completely dried out. That's the biggest issue I'm dealing with right now with the build. Okay, how much time do I have to talk here? Okay, we're down to 3 minutes left. This ship is called the Gateway Ship, and the reason I'm calling this the Gateway Ship is because I need to recruit people to help me in my efforts. I have sort of a long-term goal in Elite Dangerous to help Black Omega take over a system. What you can see here are these jagged drops and flattening plateaus here in this graph, and those are days where I have logged in and done everything I can to try and orchestrate or engineer a war between the controlling faction and Black Omega, the faction that I've thrown my support towards. If they can get close to each other in this graph, in terms of their influence, within about 5%, they will go to war. And then I can just help Black Omega take over this system, and that would be cool. Black Omega is an anarchy faction, and this is a high-tech refinery system. It's a pretty good system for selling diamonds to, or whatever, raw materials like platinum or whatever to. But yeah, this is more so for fun. This is just sort of like a fun thing to do, but you're limited. As you can see, it goes down and then it hits a complete flat spot. Now, I didn't just stop. I continued trying to influence it, but it wasn't allowing me to do anything more, and that's why it flattened out. So, but the more people you have working on it, the more of an impact you can have, because each player has their own limit on what they can do, and that's how that's how the system works, is to get as many people as you can. So why the Gateway Ship? And you may have noticed, for those of you who are more advanced in the game, these two Fletchet launchers are different than the rest of them. And those of you who are new to the game or who have never played this are probably seeing the difference as well. I'm touching the icon right here. These are turreted and these are fixed. The turreted Fletchet launchers are more expensive than the fixed. They have a little bit less armor penetration, but there's one major difference between these and the rest. And it's that you can have another player on your ship controlling these guns. And I've picked the best mounts on the ship right here on the sides. They can target above and below and to the sides, so that anyone who joins me can use these guns to help me in disabling the target. And the rest are fixed mount, which means I maintain control over them. So since I've already developed the skill of using the Fletchet launcher, the other person can, mess around with these two and learn how to use them. They also have control over the Olympic controllers and the Hatchbreaker controllers and stuff like that. It's really hard to mess that up, so that's easy to let a multi-crew member use that. And what I'm planning on doing is queuing up for matchmaking with multi-crew. And then anybody who picks Piracy as the matchmaking channel where they're trying to find another player at, they will get matched up with me. They'll come aboard my ship. I can teach them how to do this stuff and hopefully bring them into the fold and get them to help me in supporting this anarchy faction and role-playing as pirates in the game. So I'm down to about 15 seconds here. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is like my whatevereth recording of this, and I really don't like having to go back and do a lot of editing or script writing. But yeah, down to 3 seconds here, so I'll just stop the timer here. I want to say thank you for watching. Please hit that like button if you like the video. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.